Morning, everybody. I'm pretty excited. Today I'm heading up into the mountains to do one of my favorite things, which is to fish for wild trout on a high gradient mountain stream. It's going to be amazing. It's pretty stressful, running a business and having a family, and especially being a father of a adult with special needs, severe special needs. But I still got to maintain time for peace and perspective. I've got to do these things because ironically, the drive to the mountains and the drive back are some of the most productive, creative times that I have. Not the fishing, because I'm just focused on the fishing when I'm there and the beauty and everything, but literally my body and my mind have been trained over the last 3 years when I've been heavily back into fly fishing, that this time to the river and the time back is brain time, and it just works. So I'm really confident I'm going to come up with some new stuff because that's what happens. Sometimes I listen to a book or a podcast or something. Other times I'm just sending never ending notes to myself about ideas. One of the things that I wanted to share is the value of a team. About a year ago, my most trusted advisor, John Lusher, he runs Social Buzz Lab. He's a marketing expert, but he also gets referrals, and he's a longtime friend. He lives here in Roanoke, so we have to see each other physically, and that's so important. John agreed to help me find a virtual assistant. It turned out to be one of his longtime friends, somebody he collaborates with by referral, right? And her name was Dawn, and Dawn has a very talented daughter named Sammy. And quite frankly, I've invested pretty serious amount of money without using them effectively for a long period of time. But John and I had a conversation, and this is what I wanted to share. If you're a solopreneur, professional advisor, and you're making decent money, you have to understand that when you start to scale out your staff, when you start to really do this stuff, you need to have at least a year-long commitment to the process, because that's how long it's going to take you to grow enough to use talented people well. Hear me again. It's going to take at least a year for you to grow enough to use the talent appropriately. Thankfully, I made that commitment, and it's been really great working with them, but I never felt like we hit our stride until just the last week or so. And that's when, out of desperation, I hate doing slide decks. I hate it. I hate that whole visual thing. I hate the websites. I hate the entire process. But Sammy, Dawn, and John have invested so much time into understanding who and what I'm about that I just sent Sammy an outline. I use ChatGPT to help organize my thoughts just because it's faster. I already have all my content in there. And I sent her an outline of the slide deck about the message that I wanted. I didn't give any suggestions on graphics or anything. I just said, hey, can you do something for me? My word. She sent back this slide deck that was perfect. I literally have never spoken off of a slide deck like this before. And I'm actually really excited to use PowerPoint. Can't believe it. And it's just because that time investment, we've now gotten to where I trust her. She knows what I'm doing. She's starting to do so many projects, and it's not what a typical virtual assistant does. I don't consider her to be a virtual assistant. I consider her and Dawn to just be part of the team because they're doing amazing work for me. And man, it's so awesome. So what's the lesson? So the lesson is twofold. You've got to invest in a team so that you can grow to use that team. And then you also have got to have time to think, because if I wasn't doing this fishing, if I didn't have some mechanism for getting some perspective and clarity outside of the overwhelming minutia details that you have to do all the time when you own a business, I wouldn't be able to grow enough to be able to use them appropriately. So it's a synergy. Your team needs to grow. You need to train them. But remember, leadership also develops you if you're doing it for the right reasons. So I hope you guys are having a great day. It's going to be interesting. In a couple of days, I head to Charleston, South Carolina for the annual Growth Drive Summit. And I'm going to be sharing with you daily some tidbits that I'm picking up, some great things I'm learning from some of the best people in the world.